Hey guys, Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 mind-blowing anime fights. For this list, we're going to be looking over the battles from anime that not only feature incredible action, but also frantic visuals or crazy content therein. To be clear, these aren't necessarily the best fights, just the ones that didn't skip out on the animation budget. Which anime fight knocked your socks off? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if there's an anime list you want to see, go to my Twitter at AshJBo and let me know. Number 20, Jin vs Jegal, the god of high school. When a god fights, the results are usually pretty epic, and this is no exception. After Jegal acquires divinity, Jin and his friends are initially unable to do anything against him. However, after Jin awakens his own godly abilities, it's on like Sun Wukong. Well, quite literally. The Monkey King and his would-be god opponent's brawl is full of dynamic movement and some absolutely crazy moves, including Jin's shape-shifting staff and even a summoned lightning storm. Turns out that even angels fear to tread anywhere near Jin's power pole. Number 19, Rika vs Satoko, Higurashi When They Cry Suits. The Higurashi franchise is just crazy in general, what with time loops, alternate realities, and a whole lot of murder. But this fight easily takes the cake. Former besties Rika and Satoko are driven to extreme lengths by their unhealthy attachments to each other. To that end, they're powered up by several artifacts which give them incredible powers, as well as Shrine Maiden outfits for some reason. The ensuing battle takes them through several time jumps, as well as sees them powered up with brightly colored energy auras like they're in a full battle anime. Or maybe this is just how Japanese schoolgirls settle disputes during the 80s. Number 18, Shiro vs Angelica, Fate Caliad Liner Prisma Ilya Oath Under Snow. Given how this flick is a prequel to one of the Fate vs spin-offs, infamous for some lewd scenes, it already ticks a lot of boxes in the WTF category. However, it can't be denied that Shiro's final clash with the Archer-class servant known as Angelica is still pretty awesome, even if she does look like Gilgamesh's gender-bent double. Facing off against countless incoming swords that have been sped up to the point where even his superhuman reflexes can't compete, all this Harem King can do is push on through before landing the killing blow. Number 17, Rebellimon vs Boltmon, Digimon Adventure. This recent outing of the hit franchise gets overlooked by a lot of people, but it still has its fair share of lit moments. Case in point, this fight in particular is surprisingly great. Rebellimon is an ogre with a heart of gold and a chip on his shoulder, prone to battling the outlaws in his village. After repeatedly losing to the strongest mon around, Boltmon, Rebellimon receives healing from the adorable Cutemon and challenges his rival again. The ensuing fight has some fantastic animation and a great example of the weaker anti-hero using his opponent's strength against him. The image of an ogre motorcycle hybrid firing rockets and using a fiery punch to defeat Frankenstein's monster is just awesome. Number 16, Meliodas versus the 10 Commandments, the 7 Deadly Sins. It's a demonic family reunion of the worst kind, as the captain of the sins takes on his old comrades in a one-man battle royale. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Dragon Sin of Wrath manages to overcome the majority of the surviving commandments, despite getting put through the ringer.
50
This all comes to a tear-jerking end when Meliodas faces off against his sibling Estarossa, who takes advantage of his weakened state. That's not exactly what we'd call traditional brotherly love.
Revenge counter!
Number 15, Gran vs Tiamat. Gran Blue Fantasy, the animation. Gran isn't a super strong guy, he's a human with a sword.
Here I go!
But when he and the crew of his flying ship are attacked by Tiamat, a primal being with a gorgeous visage and dragon appendages for days, Gran steps up. After gaining a power-up to his sword, the Mad Lad leaps from floating island to floating island before finally destroying the crystal that has driven Tiamat to insanity. Tiamat's attacks on the islands are beautifully rendered, and the sense of danger throughout really hammers home Gran's heroism in the moment. Number 14, Mob vs Koyama. Mob Psycho 100. And this is why you don't push nice guys to their limits, because you never know when one might snap and turn into a psychic death machine. After the sadistic Esper Koyama pummels his brother, Mob finds himself unable to stop his emotions from soaring all the way to 100%, paving the way for him to take Koyama to the cleaners. No matter how much he struggles, the cocky Esper can only watch in horror as Mob sends his face through a whole building, all the while consuming the scene in visuals that are borderline psychedelic. Number 13, Rin vs Brandy. The Ida Ten deities know only peace. It's the age-old battle between gods and demons, though this one certainly has more pep in its step. Able to manipulate people with her hair, Empress Brandy gives Rin a run for her money by concealing her location and allowing her to strike out with her army of puppets. Not that it stops Rin from using her immortal body to its fullest, her strength allowing her to take out a huge swath of the city, all before finally getting her hands on Brandy's neck. The sheer scale of the destruction as well as the brutality had us flabbergasted. Finally, we understood why everyone is afraid of Rin. Number 12, Chuya vs Dragon. Bungo Stray Dogs, Dead Apple. You'd hope that after managing to bring down something like a dragon, Chuya would finally have some chill. As the armed detective agency and Port Mafia reluctantly join forces to investigate the deaths of superpowered humans, the mystery ends up turning a lot more shonen when a giant crimson beast ends up being summoned to wreck their day. What's a mafioso to do? Well, in Chuya's case, he unleashes the full power of For the Tainted Sorrow, manipulating gravity to the point where he's beating the 7 bells out of a wannabe Shenron with a building. Number 11, Joker vs Holy Soul's Shadow Captain, Fire Force. After attacking the Holy Soul's temple, the Church's personal group of assassins move in to deal with Joker and his allies. The unnamed captain fights Joker personally, since Joker was once his subordinate. While the captain initially seems to have the advantage, getting in some great hits and seemingly leaving Joker without any more fiery cards to go through, things get weird. It turns out that Joker's cigarette has more than tobacco in it, and the hallucinogenic smoke takes the captain on a trip, before Joker slices him to pieces, that is. The flaming attacks are par for the course, but the trip mid-fight really gave this one a lucid edge that we couldn't get enough of. Number 10, Everyone vs. Floor 100 Boss. Sword Art Online the movie Ordinal Scale. If there's one thing Kirito and Asuna's cinematic debut has in spades, it's blinding action sequences. In order to free players from yet another virtual prison, one that just so happens to feed on memories, anime's most divisive power couple must take on the most challenging boss Ordinal Scale has to offer. Thankfully, every one of their allies are there to lend a helping hand, as well as provide a quick OP boost that allows them to finish off the final boss in spectacular fashion. Number 9, Luffy and Drake vs. Numbers, One Piece. One Piece has some S-tier fights, so we can see why this particular fight may have been a confusing choice. After all, it's just Luffy and X-Drake one-shotting a couple of giants. And that's true in the manga. However, the anime takes a simple exchange and turns it up to 11. The animation on Luffy as he assaults the giant, swings around the field of battle, and goes gear forth is among the best in the whole series. And considering how long One Piece has been going on, that is quite the achievement. Number 8, Saitama vs. Boros, One Punch Man. How does one top punching their way through a meteor? By having a final fight that sees the hero getting kicked into the moon, only to come back swinging and unleash a punch so powerful that we're pretty sure it split the atmosphere. The world's strongest hero certainly did not disappoint when it came to his climactic battle against the universe's greatest tyrant, even as he was sent flying into the stratosphere. Most action series can only dream of generating the hype levels this fight produced, and Saitama did it in the most casual way possible. Number 7, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann vs. Anti-Spiral, Gurren Lagann. The mecha fights here are some of the most epic in all of anime, and its finale surpassed all expectations, and probably the laws of reality. Team Tai Gurren squares off against the Anti-Spiral in a mech bigger than galaxies. The sheer absurd scale of the fight boggles the mind, and the combatants' universe-shaking contest is awesome in every sense of the word. With the show's theme playing in the background, and the protagonist's drive to do the impossible in the face of insurmountable odds, this is Gurren Lagann distilled into one gigantic and amazing spectacle. Number 6, Araragi vs. Kiss Shot. Kizumonogatari 3. Decapitation has never looked so breathtaking.
死んでくれ我が主人
死ぬがよい我が重木
After regaining her full power as a vampire, as well as her sadistic desire to dine on human flesh, the only one capable of putting a stop to Kiss Shot Acerola Orion Heart under blade is her own blood-sucking servant. Not that she makes it easy for the once and future perv, since every punch they land on one another blows a limb to Kingdom Come. However, thanks to their instant regenerative abilities, their battle soon turns into a bloody feast for the eyes, one that will have you questioning just how many ways Araragi can literally lose his head. Number 5, Naruto and Sasuke vs. Momoshiki. Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Essentially what the final fight with Kaguya should have been, this ungodly battle against the jutsu monster that is Momoshiki was pure animated perfection, summarizing everything awesome about the Naruto franchise in but a single bout. In a bid to save the village from the younger Otsutsuki's wrath, Naruto and Sasuke demonstrate exactly how strong they've gotten since entering adulthood. Boruto may come in the last second to win the day, but nothing can compare to seeing the former frenemies unleashing a non-stop barrage of transformations, top-tier jutsus, and numerous other life hacks. Number 4, Gojo vs. Jogo. Jujutsu Kaisen. One does not simply mess with Gojo, Jujutsu sorcerer extraordinaire. Despite being ambushed by Jogo, a curse with a volcanic temper and abilities, the wicked entity can't bridge the infinite gap between himself and Gojo, what with the latter having complete mastery over it.
君が触れたのは僕との間にあった無限だよ。
Although Jogo's domain expansion is suitably terrifying, Gojo's own domain blows Jogo's away in every sense.
領域展開無料空所
Becoming aware of everything at once is a trippy concept, and the visuals reflect that. Jujutsu Kaisen features a ton of fantastic fights, but the reveal of Infinite Void is arguably the most aesthetically pleasing.
でも君には聞きたいことがあるからこれくらいで勘弁してあげる
Number 3, Sieg vs. Kana, Fate Apocrypha. I mean, how do you even describe this? This isn't so much a battle as it is animation obliteration. Unsurprisingly, the Fateverse once again rears its head, though this time it's best boy Sieg stepping up to the plate against the uber-powerful Lancer of Red, the results of which lead to more explosions than we thought possible. Kana may have numerous noble phantasms under his control, but that was never going to take down Sieg. After all, he's got the undying love of Ruler and Rider of Black behind him. Number 2, Gogeta vs. Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Dragon Ball fans have wanted this fight for decades, a reimagining and reintroduction to both the legendary Super Saiyan and the Ultimate Saiyan fusion, so they can beat the crap out of each other. This fight is everything fans love about Dragon Ball fights cranked up over 9,000. It's got beams and screams galore. They hit each other so hard, they break through into another dimension. Twice! and it's all tied together with animation dripping with style, movements, and its own savage beauty. How Superhero is supposed to top this, we have no idea. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Asta vs Ladros. Black Clover. As things usually go in shonen series, we all know that we're in for an absolute treat when the hero finally unleashes his powers within. After getting a kickstart from the Witch Queen, Asta literally takes Ladros to new heights with his new black form. What follows is quite possibly the most insane laser beam chase in all of anime, as the two completely devastate the landscape with the most mind-bending animation. If this battle didn't prove that Black Clover could hang with the other big shonens, then we don't know what will. Thank you, Base Chadster. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.